Hi guys, how are you doing? Did you have a great Thanksgiving? I did. I had so much fun with my family. I noticed that there's a few different types of people in the world, isn't there? There's the ones who start to celebrate Christmas the day after Halloween or even before. And then there's the ones who wait until after Thanksgiving. Honestly, there's not two types of people in the world. There's everything in between too, isn't there? But I had a little bit of a struggle this Thanksgiving because I felt like as soon as, or even before Thanksgiving was over, my family, the world was ready for it to be Christmas. And I was not. I was just thinking, in fact, I even said to my kids, I'm such a Grinch. I said, Christmas is so fun for kids and the family, but it's a lot of work for moms. And then they were very kind and they felt sorry for me. And I realized, oh, this isn't what I want to do. I don't want to spoil the fun of Christmas because I'm so stressed out about my to-do list. And I thought, Kendra, buck up. You can do this. Make a few lists. You'll feel better. And then you can do this. And so here I am, December 1st, and I am ready to tackle the Christmas season with joy and peace and mildness, of course. And one thing I thought that I'd like to do to really get myself in the mood and just get myself ready for the Christmas season is a good Advent devotional. And so I pulled out this one that Steve and I bought, I think 2 years ago. Come Let Us Adore Him by Paul David Tripp. And this is an Advent devotional that you can use to just get yourself in the mood and ready for Christmas. Not just ready because you've decorated your house and bought the presents and taken care of all the things you need to take care of, made the cookies, but really because you have been prepared to come before God and worship Him, the Redeemer, Emmanuel, God with us. That's what this is all about. So I'm going to start with you guys today because it's December 1st. We're going to start with the December 1st reading from this Advent devotional. This is what it says. It starts with the angels saying, because the everlasting Father had come to extend arms of redeeming grace to all who would give their hearts to Him. He says, it is a wonderful, mysterious, hard to grasp, and beyond the scope of our normal reasoning story. But when you get it, when you come to fully understand the purpose and implications of this story, you will sing too. This story's amazing plot wasn't written when Mary got pregnant or when the prophets began foretelling it or when God announced it after the disastrous rebellion of Adam and Eve. This story is so miraculous in every way that it could have only come out of the mind of God in eternity before the foundations of the earth were laid down by His mighty hand. It points to the divine imagination and screams the power of the divine hand. No man could write this plot, and if he did, no man could expedite what he had written. This story is itself an argument for the existence of God and is a portrait of His holy character. The beautiful world that God had created was now broken and groaning, the direct result of the rebellion of the ones God had made in His own image and had placed His guiding and providing love upon. The evidence of its brokenness was everywhere, from the inner recesses of the hearts of people, to violence and corruption of government, to the existence of plagues and diseases. Sure, there was beauty still to be seen, but the whole world groaned under the weight of its brokenness. It would have been just for God to stay His distance, to let the world quake and groan. It would have been a just response to the arrogant rebellion that brought this brokenness on the world. But in one of the gorgeous mysteries of God's sovereign grace, He looked on His broken, rebellious world with eyes of mercy. Yes, God would act decisively, and His actions would be what He had planned in the beginning, but they would be a stunning surprise to every mere mortal. His response would not be condemnation or judgment. His response would not be a meting out of justice. Rather, His response would be intervention and rescue. He would do in grace what the law could never do. He would do in grace what we could never do for ourselves. He would do what philosophers could never conceive, what leaders could never strategize, what poets could never imagine. He would offer the only thing that would ever address the need and solve the problem. He Himself would become the greatest, most costly, most transformational gift ever. God would take on human flesh and invade his sin-broken world with his wisdom, power, glory, and grace. But he wouldn't descend to a palace. Instead, the Lord Almighty, the Creator, the sovereign King over all things, would humble himself and take on the form of a servant. He would live on our behalf the life we could never have lived. He would willingly die the death that you and I deserve to die, and he would rise from his tomb as a conqueror of sin and death. He would suffer every single day of his life so that he could, with his life, give grace to rebels, extend love to those who would deny his existence, impart wisdom to those who think they know better, and extend forgiveness to everyone who seeks him. His coming stands as an affirmation that he will not relent. He will not be satisfied until sin and suffering are no more. And we are like him, dwelling with him in unity, peace, and harmony forever and ever. It is true that you can't just write this stuff. The majesty of the patient and forgiving love of this story defies words. The implications of this birth are not only transformational to the cosmos, but also external in their intent. This is the story of Jesus, born in a barn in Bethlehem. The Messiah the earth cried for now cries to be held by Mary, and will soon cry in torment of the cross of salvation. He came to suffer because he comes to save. The angels sang because finally hope has come. Do you want to join them? What do you think, guys? Are you ready to come before God in this Advent season and worship him? I highly recommend you go find this book, Come Let Us Adore Him by Paul David Tripp. This is a great devotional for families, really for adults. If you want something with young children, I highly recommend you take this Jesus Storybook Bible. If you read a chapter every day, starting on December 1st, that's today, if you read a chapter every day, then on Christmas Eve, you'll read the story of the three kings coming and bringing their gifts to Jesus. This is an amazing Advent devotional as well, because every story points to Jesus. And that's what this book shows. Every Old Testament story is just pointing us to a desperate longing that we have for our Savior to come. And that's what we're celebrating for Christmas. So let's do it, guys. Let's gird up. We can do this. Our long lists can be overwhelming. What can you drop off your list? But we can do this. We can bring the joy of Christmas to our families during this Advent season. And I hope you will do that with me. I'll be praying for you as you do it. Will you be praying for me as I do? Thanks, guys. This has been your Tuesday talk for Advent, December 1st. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you later.